Hey everyone, it's me Wasabi, and today we're gonna talk about the VAXEE PD mousepads and how they compare. If you've seen my reviews this year, you know that I've already covered the VAXEE PD and the VAXEE PEK. Now VAXEE has released more variations of the PD, including one that uses the same surface from the VAXEE PEK, which happens to be one of my favorite mousepads this year. So in this video, I'll help you to figure out which VAXEE PD mousepad might suit you best, or help you realize that none of them suit you at all. I received the VAXEE PD, which is now called the PD 150, and after I reviewed that one, I picked up the VAXEE PD 140 in this very bright pink colorway. But as always, these are my thoughts, personal opinions, and experiences with the products. Let's clear up the naming system because it can look confusing at first. The original PD and the PD 150, 150 Plus are basically the same pad, so it's got the same surface, same base, and same feel. VAXEE has just changed the name and are using numbers to represent the characteristics of each pad. So the first digit 1 represents the hardness of the base. Currently only the hardest base is available, but in future you'll likely see a 250 or 350, which represents medium and soft bases respectively. And then the next two digits represents the surface speed, so 50 is the middle. Future versions might go higher, so maybe a 60 or 70 for faster, or 40 and 30 for slower. And plus at the end just means the size, which represents a 500 by 500 millimeter mousepad. Now for this PD 140, by the name you can tell that it's got the same hard base as the PD 150, but with a slower surface represented by 40 instead of 50. Pretty easy to understand, I guess. So the PD 140 and the PD 150 both share the same hard base. The difference is in the surface. The PD 140 that I have here uses the PEK surface, leaning more towards control. And this one is great if you play tactical shooters like Valorant or Counter-Strike, where precision and stopping power matter the most. It is a pad that is very easy to hold angles on. With its hard base, it does feel slightly smoother than the original PEK, but not that much faster. It is noticeably slower than the PD 150 though. The PEK surface was designed with a slight quirk, so it is a little faster on the y-axis than the x-axis. Some people notice it, some people don't. I personally don't think too much about it. The VAXEE PD 150 is essentially the same as the first release of the PD, which is what I have here. They just updated the name and the logo on the pad. It uses the same surface as the VAXEE PA and PB mousepads, which is often described as a smoother alternative to the Zowie GSR SE. This one here is really the middle option, but personally I'm not such a fan of the surface on this hard base. In my review of this one, I did mention how the glide feels like it was a weird gradual acceleration and deceleration. I need it to feel direct. There can be resistance, it can feel slow, but just not, you know, and that is something that made me feel disconnected from my aim and messes with my flicks and corrections. You can say it's a user issue, but for the record, this is the only pad that I've used that I felt is a challenge to aim on. I'm not saying that this is a bad mousepad though, this is a very good one, but between this and the PD 140, I would pick the PD 140. Even though the 140 is slower, it doesn't have so much of that weird glide feeling that I get on this pad and feels much more natural with the flicks and tracking as well. Right now for the PD 140 and the 140 Plus, it's only available in this pink colorway. Black will be coming out later, and for the PD 150 and the 150 Plus, it's only available in black. Now about this pink colorway, which does look outstanding, it is a very bright light pink. Personally, I'm not really into pink, but I think many of you will be wondering how well it holds up against dirt and stains. So I got this one some time back and I don't have good news for you. Light pink stains really quickly, and within about a week and a half of daily use, I noticed that the edges where my wrist rests got darker. It isn't just this pad in particular though, it's just a thing with light colored mousepads. So do not put random things on it, and not even your handphone, because that is one of the dirtiest things we as humans have on hand. VAXEE advises against using chemicals to clean their mousepads in general, since it causes the surface and the base to split. So for very active gamers, I would suggest skipping this pink colorway and just going for the black version if it is available. Now final thoughts, if you are interested in these pads, the first question is, do you like a hard base mousepad? Because if your answer is no, then don't bother with the PD 150 or the 140. Wait for VAXEE VAXEE to release the medium or soft versions. For me, my favorite VAXEE pad is still the VAXEE PEK because it has a mid-hardness base, which is a lot closer to what you expect from something like a Zowie GSR or a GSR SE. And the PEK surface is supposedly designed to be a touch faster vertically than horizontally, but gaming on it, it feels closer to being more consistent and well-balanced across the pad. It actually reminds me of what the Artisan Key 83 was going for, you know, balanced glide on both the X and Y axis. So I've been using the PEK for more than just tactical shooters because of how balanced and controlled the glide experience feels across the pad. But anyway, for PD pads, no matter which one you go for, VAXEE's quality is outstanding and these pads are built to last and they do stand out in today's market. This is the kind of pad that has a quality which makes you want to keep using it for years. So if you feel that none of these VAXEE PDs are suitable for you, but you are very interested in this mousepad, I would recommend to wait for VAXEE to release more variations of the VAXEE PD and you can decide from there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, please leave a like and subscribe to support my channel, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.